what keeps it going? Why does the self-criticism perpetuate? Anyone know? Why does it perpetuate? Okay, here's the answer. Today we're going to talk about self-criticism. Super important. Have you had weight loss surgery? Yes or no? Is your life the way you want it to be? Yes or no? Is your marriage or relationship as passionate as you want it to be? Yes or no? Chances are the answer is probably no. In which case you're probably going, what am I doing wrong? What could I be doing better? That's a form of self-criticism. Have you had weight loss surgery and you think you should be further along? That's self-criticism. Are you trying green smoothies but you seem to screw it up every time? It doesn't taste right. The texture's wrong. You can't get your head around it. You think you're doing something wrong. See, that's self-criticism. And then, until we smash this into the ground, you're at risk for weight regain. Okay? Someone write this down in the comment section. Self-criticism leads to weight regain. Self-criticism will lead to weight regain, I promise you. So what we're going to do today is give you four amazing tips, okay? So you guys ready? All right. Tip number 1 on how to stop self-criticism. Number 1, you have to understand what self-criticisms really are, okay? What are they, okay? Self-criticisms, they are, what do you think I've got it right? You're probably saying they're lies. Put in the comment section, what is Dr. Vuong going to write? They are excuses. They are just reasons. They are false beliefs. Self-criticisms, they are not yours. Boom goes the dynamite. Dr. Vuong, what the fuck's he talking about? Whoa! 2 minutes into the broadcast, I'm already cussing. They are not yours. See, think about this. Every baby, have you ever been around a baby? Do you have babies? Are they sitting there going, oh my God, my cheeks are so fat? Or are they sitting there going, oh my gosh, I got this little roll on my arm, this little roll on my belly? Are they just happy? It's like, oh my gosh, these are my toes, look at this. They don't sit there and go, oh my God, I can't walk. I don't think I'll ever figure out how to walk. I don't think I'll ever figure out how to tie my shoes. Even a 5-year-old, I'll never figure out how to tie my shoes. I just can't run as fast as the other kids. Do they say that? No, they're outside playing, having a good time. They're exploring their world. They're trying different foods, like it, don't like it. I'll eat it, won't eat it. I will nap, I won't nap. They're totally self-interested. They just love life, right? But what happened? At some point, somebody said to them, she's a little short for her size. He's a little big for his size. My little chunky monkey. Oh, this is my smart one. This one's good at math. She's a little slow reader. She's shy. They're not your criticisms. They are not yours. This is super important that you understand this. I'm going to start crying talking about this because it's so true. It breaks my heart. At one point, you were that perfect baby. At one point, you were that perfect baby. You just loved yourself. You loved your little fat arm rolls. You loved playing with the other kids. You didn't know there was a difference between a black kid and a white kid and a Mexican kid. You didn't know that afros were a bad thing. You didn't know that freckles were embarrassing. You didn't know that, math was hard. They're not your criticisms. Someone else laid that shit on you. So the first step to letting go of these self-criticisms is to understand they do not belong to you. Someone else put that shit in your brain and scarred you for a long time. It just takes one teacher to say, oh, Sally's not very good at math in 2nd grade, for it to happen again in 3rd grade, 4th grade, 5th grade. Now you go your whole life thinking you're not good at math. It's just not true. And it grows, it goes a lot for even when you're adults. Okay? So, you get them as kids, but here's the next thing. You get them as adults. You go to work. Oh, like, Mary's not very organized. Oh, I'm just not very organized. Church. You should be a better Christian. Good Christians don't drink. Good Christians don't dance. Really? Baptists don't dance, but Methodists do dance? I don't get it. I must not be a good dancer. That's why I'm not a good dancer. I grew up Baptist. Work, church, relationships, friendships, your old besties. Well, this is how we've always done it. Family. We've always been Cowboys fans. So even as adults, people are throwing shit on you that don't belong to you. Right? I don't know why Jane can't pick up Excel spreadsheet. Self-criticism. And they're not yours. So the shit doesn't stop just because you became an adult. Now a lot of times it's even worse. Amen? Put a comment if you agree with me. Put amen in the comment if you agree. The shit piles on more as an adult. As a kid, you're kind of oblivious to it. So what happens is, as a kid, this goes into your subconscious. I just don't know if we will ever get Johnny to stop wetting his bed. He seems to have no self-control. He's always running around hyper. Right? So what happens is it gets buried into your subconscious. Sub means you don't know it's there. But when you're an adult, that gets conscious. And I'll add another word to it. Self-conscious. Now you're looking around going, who's watching me? Who's noticing that I'm screwing up? Who noticed that, like, my pants don't match my blouse, my shoes don't match my purse? Oh my God, what am I going to do? I'm a terrible dresser. Ta-da! The first step to stopping self-criticism is to let them go, because they don't belong to you. They don't belong to you. All right? All right, how was that first tip? Was it mind-blowing? Did you love it? All right, number 2 is going to be equally as awesome. Number 2 tip. And now some people are, that's not the tip. I just wrote self-love on the board. But that's not the tip, right? Because a lot of people sit there and say, well, I just don't love myself enough. I don't love myself enough. Here's what you have to understand about self-criticism and self-love. Same, and this is tip number 2. Same and I guess I should get the tip right. Hold on. Okay. Self-criticism and self-love, same stick. It's the same stick, right? It's opposite ends of the same stick. You can't sit there and beat yourself up. I'm no good at math. I'm always late. I'm clumsy. I have no willpower. Beat yourself with a stick and then go, I don't love myself enough. Why don't I love myself, Dr. Vuong? Well, it's the other end of the stick, dude. Turn the stick around. What, Dr. Vuong? I don't get it. Well, self-love is just the opposite end of a stick. And as far as I know, a stick has 2 ends. You get me? So this end, like this, it's the same marker. This end is self-love. This end is self-hatred, self-criticism. And you're hitting yourself with this end. Dude, just try a little self-love. Flip it over. Does that make sense? No, Dr. Vuong. If I could just love myself a little bit more, if I could just get rid of the self-criticism. Let's try this again. Self-criticism, self-love. If you try to cut away You're just cutting away. This is the important part. If you keep like chopping this wood, chopping the stick, there will always be another end. Does that make sense? There's still another end. And it doesn't matter how small you cut this stick. There will always be another end. The other side of the coin. It doesn't matter how small you slice that coin. There will always be another side to it. Problem is you just keep staring at the self-criticism side. You just keep beating yourself with the self-criticism stick end. I'm just saying, flip it over. You're already good at it. You're already good at beating yourself up. Just use the other end of the stick. Beat yourself up with a little self-love. Get it? Put a 1 if you got it. If you understand what I'm trying to say. Because you will never, ever get rid of self-criticism. It will never go away. It's impossible. It's the end of the other stick. Right? So what you have to do is just like, look at the other end. Start with self-love. So what you're going to say is, but Dr. Vuong, how do I do that? How do I do that? How do I stop criticizing? And how do I start loving? First, you recognize it's the same thing. But here's the Dr. V tip. Right? A. I'm going to write this in red because this is powerful. And it's a reminder. I heard it before, but my buddy Troy Hoffman, who was at Velocity Vegas this weekend, who was one of the speakers, taught me this. And it's important you remember this. Okay? Whenever you're criticizing yourself, here's what you want to do. Number A, ask yourself this question. Is it true? Is it true? Do you want to stop criticizing yourself and start loving yourself? Well, whenever you have a critical thought, ask yourself, is it true? I'm no good at making smoothies. Really? Is that true? Is that true? Yes, Dr. Vuong, it's true. It's true. Which leads me to tip 2. All right? Your next question you're going to ask is this. Is it really true? I'm no good at making smoothies. Is it true? Yeah. No. Is it really true? Well, maybe if I actually got a NutriBullet or a Nutri-Ninja instead of just using my little cheap one, maybe it'll turn out right. Maybe if I tried a different ingredients, it would taste better. You see what I'm saying? Is it really true? Right? I can't control myself around chocolates. Is that true? Yeah, chocolates are my downfall. Really? Is it really true that chocolates are your downfall? Have you ever been around chocolates and not eaten them? Well, yeah, you're right. There are times when, I like chocolates, but yeah, I can skip them. I've had a time where I've changed it. I'm not good at making money. Is that true? Have you ever had a time where you got paid more than you thought you were going to get paid? Yeah. Now that you mention it, I think there is, I'm not a good listener. My husband's not a good listener. Oh, self-criticism, right? I'm not a good listener. Is that true? Yeah, I'm just too busy. People tell me stuff all the time and I don't remember them. Is that really true? Well, there was the one time when my best friend was going through a divorce and we stayed up all night talking about, how bad her marriage was and how better off she was without him. So you are a good listener. Yeah? You follow me? So you are. Oh, you are. So when you find an example of when you did something good, that's loving yourself with self-love. That's where you start hitting yourself with self-love. Like, dude, maybe I am good, right? Maybe it's not true. This is powerful shit. When you start asking yourself these deeper questions, is it true? Is it really true? You know? I did this personally. I mean, I always thought I was no good with girls. I always thought girls thought I was invisible. I was skinny. I was nerdy. I grew up really poor. I didn't have nice clothes. I didn't drive a nice car. I just thought I was invisible to girls. And then I was like, is that true? Well, you know, my high school girlfriend was kind of cute. You know, she was on the dance team. And then I think about, you know, Kizzy's mom's cute. My current girlfriend is a model now. You know, it's just not true. And I quit saying stuff that didn't serve me. That's the last thing. So what you're going to do is once you realize it's not true, stop saying it because it no longer serves you. Now I want you to remember this because it's going to be really important for our next tip. Stop saying it because it no longer serves you. You got into this repetition because at some point it got you out of a jam. It made you comfortable with not working. It served its purpose at that moment, and then you allowed it to identify with you. Maybe you didn't do so good on a math test, and the teacher was like, well, maybe you're not good at math. And then you're like, yeah, I'm not good at math. That's why I got a C, or that's why I got a D. The answer is you just didn't study. You stayed up all night and talked with your boyfriend on the phone, or you went to the bar instead of studying for the exam. It's not that calculus is hard or you can't get chemistry. It just no longer serves you now. Okay? So really no self-criticism really serves you. So that was tip number 2. Hope you liked it. Be right back with tip number 3. Cool? Where does self-criticism come from? Number 3. Where does it come from? Now I said earlier that, you know, these aren't your criticisms, that someone put it in your head. But what keeps it going? Why does the self-criticism perpetuate? Anyone know? Why does it perpetuate? Okay? Here's the answer. You lack a skill. You lack a skill. That's all it is. There's something that you don't know how to do very well. And so you criticize yourself. And as far as I know, every skill must be learned. Yes, there are people that can play basketball quicker, that can pick up running faster, that can pick up math problems faster. Of course. But you still had to learn that skill at some point. Does that make sense? I had to go to school for 13 years to become a surgeon. I didn't wake up one day, well, you're lucky, you're a surgeon. I didn't wake up born a surgeon. I had to learn a skill. I had to put in the hours. Make sense? No one was born with instruction booklets on how to be a mom. You had to learn how to be a mom. Your first kid, you screwed up. You were so hyper, you didn't know what you were doing. You know, you babied it too much. Your second baby, like you were a little bit chiller. Your third baby, you're like, oh, it's my last one. So you babied it and you let it do whatever you want. You're like the worst parent to the third baby. That explains the birth order. Okay, every skill had to be learned. Okay, you had to learn how to walk. You had to learn how to tie your shoes. You had to learn how to drive a car. You had to learn how to pick up chicks. You had to learn how to tell a guy no without getting bitch slapped. You know what I mean? That's a good skill. You had to learn how to do your job. You had to learn how to interview for your promotion. Everything is a skill. Okay? Did you learn it or did you not learn it? That leads to self-criticism. I'm no good at math. Basically means you just never really sat the time and worked on your multiplication tables enough. You were too hyper running around. I mean, trust me, I know this. Because when I was younger and I was good at math, I was trying to help other kids work on their multiplication tables. And this dude, all he wanted to do was like go play. He would not sit still. Right? And he was always, oh, I'm hungry. Let me go look in the fridge. And now he's overweight. No surprise. It's just one of these things, right? Every skill had to be learned. You lack a skill. So, now why am I telling you this? What is criticism? Self-criticism. What are you criticizing? You lack confidence. I'm not a good cook. Just means you don't know how to cook well. You don't know how to saute. You don't know how to mix ingredients. You don't know how much sugar to add, how much salt to add. You lack confidence. Well, where does confidence come from? Repeated doing. Do you want to stop your self-criticism? Do more. Do more. Make more smoothies. Burn more food. Ruin more soups. Right? Try more. Shoot more Facebook Lives. Do more. The problem is we don't do shit anymore in America. We sit around in the evening times watching Game of Thrones. I saw this countdown. 41 more days until the Game of Thrones premiere. Everyone's like, yay, can't wait. My God, sitting and watching television is not doing anything. Is not doing anything. So if that's the average person, if that's you, you should be spending that time reading a book, watching a YouTube video, learning a skill. You could even be trying to prep something. You're good at making mac and cheese because mac and cheese is all you've ever made. You've done it over and over and over again. You're good at baking because that's all you ever did was bake cookies. You got some sort of confidence from it because your mom or your grandmom reaffirmed you. Oh, she's my baker. She's my little baker. And her sister here is my little chef. She likes to cook savory. Mary likes to cook sweets. And you just kept doing that one skill. Now, here's the last thing. Life, everything in life is a skill. Everything about life is a skill. You understand that, right? Everything. How to study for a test. How to take a test. How to do a Facebook post. You guys realize 10 years ago, nobody watching me right now, nobody knew how to do a Facebook post. You realize that, right? You had to learn. You had to click. You had to share. There's still people who don't know how to hit share. There's still people who don't know how to put emojis on. There's still people who don't know how to click a link. I'll do a post with a link, says hit the link, and people will still comment, where do I find the link, Dr. Vuong? They lack a skill. They're not dumb. Does that make sense what I'm saying? And it's spiritual. It's relationship. It's jogging. It's athletics. It's building a campfire. It's fishing. It's throwing the ball with your son. I'll give you another skill people lack. It's communication. Marriage is work. Partnerships are work. Like you have to learn how to keep that fire. Well, the fire is just burnt out of my relationship. My marriage is... No, you don't have the skill to keep it engaged, to keep it interesting. Does that make sense what I said? Okay? So here's what you want to do. This journey, the rest of your time on this planet, your job is to see how many skills you can accumulate. Everyone's going, oh, Dr. Vuong, you gave up being a surgeon? It's so hard to become a surgeon. Dude, surgeon is only one skill I've got. I flipped houses. I can paint a house. I can lay tile. I can I can do landscaping. I'm a good gardener. I'm a good cook. I think I'm a good kisser. I might be wrong. I'm pretty funny. I can tell some jokes without fucking up. I'm pretty good standing in front of a crowd now. I can give a speech now. I can move people to tears. I can drive a stick shift. These are skills. So, we're talking about self-criticism. I want you right now, write down, you can do it in the comment section, a skill that you're good at. Something you're good at. Some people are really good at folding t-shirts. Do you have a friend like this? Maybe it's your wife, where the t-shirts are like folded like a special sort of way that you'd think you walked into a Gap or something. It's like fold beautifully. There's no wrinkles on it. That's a skill you learned. I mean, I've driven, I can't even remember my last car accident. 20 years without a car accident? And then I have a friend who gets into car accidents like every other day. It's a skill. So, your job in life, this one life that you have, accumulate as many skills as you can. That's it. And next part. Find the skill that brings you joy. Not that you're good at. Not that you did it perfectly. But when you're in the art of doing it, when you're trying it, it made you happy. The hours passed by. You could have sat there and worked on that. You're really geeked into electronics. You're really interested in programming. You're really interested in Adobe Photoshop and cutting out pictures and you want to get better at it, right? You're not great at it. There's no point in spending too much time on stuff you're already great at, right? Like I was already a really, really, really good surgeon. But what I saw was not a lot of people there weren't any really good surgeons who were able to move audiences. So that's this next skill I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to take my surgical knowledge and help move an audience. We did that at Velocity this last weekend. It was amazing, right? And that's my task to you. Take the rest of your life to make the rest of your life the best of your life. Accumulate skills that bring you joy. Boom goes the dynamite. How about that? So, the fourth tip. Pity is a drug. Dr. Vuong, everybody does it. Everybody talks about it. We all have these moments. Why do we do it? Why do I keep doing it? Why do I keep doing it, Dr. Vuong? Answer, pity is a drug. You want someone to go, it's okay, Diana. It's all right you're not good at math. Glenn, it's all right. It's all right that you have no willpower. I have trouble too. Let's just eat. You've been so good for so long. Why are you going to the gym today? You don't need to worry about that. You've been so good. Pity is a drug. And it's addictive. It is a highly addictive drug. And with social media, it's worse than ever. Amen? Put a 1 in the comment section if you agree with me. It is worse than ever. You see it on Instagram. You see it on Facebook. You see it on social media where you think someone else is living this great life because that's what they show you on Instagram. But behind the scenes, their life is falling apart. And now you look at that and you go, oh, woe is me. I don't have six-pack abs. My booty doesn't look like that. And you're hoping someone comes along and says, it's all right. It'll be okay. Okay? But you know, the Skinny Asian is not going to tell you that. Skinny Asian is going to tell you this. Stop that shit. Stop it. Stop it. It no longer serves you. It does not fix the problem. Okay? Pity does not fix the problem. Self-criticism does not fix the problem. No one is coming to rescue you. No one cares that you're having trouble paying the bills. They're too worried about themselves. And they're happy it's you and not them. So you sit there announcing it, it doesn't fix the problem. And the people who comment, the people who are like, oh yeah, man, that was hard, it was a hard day, they're worse off than you. Superstars, people who got shit to do like me, I'm not stopping. I'm not stopping to say, boo-hoo, I'm sorry you lost your puppy dog. I'm sorry that you had a hard day at work. I'm sorry your boss was mean. Your boss not giving you any credit. The real players and movers and shakers and the people who are getting shit done, they're not commenting on you. They're not stopping to give you advice. We can't help everybody along. You have to do the effort. Which isn't, Dr. Vuong, if I don't do that, then what do I do? Here's the answer. You got to go do the hard work. You got to do the hard work. The stuff that you've been avoiding. You got to find the skills. You develop these skills through the hard work. Don't avoid the hard work. The work is where the magic happens. Work is where the magic happens. Work is how life changes. Work is how you start feeling better about yourself. Work is how you have money to pay the electricity bill. Work is how you know how to change a tire if it goes flat on the road. Work is how you know that dude is your ex-husband in a different body. Just because he has a new tattoo, he's the same dude in a different body. You do the work. You read about self-help. You read about relationships. You ask someone who has a good marriage and say, hey, how do I have a good marriage? How do I find a good partner? And they're going to tell you the same thing I'm telling you. It's work. You don't go home at night, flip on Game of Thrones, and somehow think your marriage is going to be amazing. It doesn't work that way. It's not an Instagram life. It's not a Facebook life. It is work. You got to do the work. You got to do the work. What's the work, Dr. Vuong? The work, boom. It's the skills that bring you joy. Not the stuff you're good at. Not the things you already know. It's the things that make you scared. Scared. Things that make you scared. You do it again and again. You get better at it. You take that class. You get a C your first paper. You get a B your second paper. You get an A your third paper. And then you get an A for the class. And then suddenly you're like, oh, I can write. I am good at English. I am a good student. And when you start conquering your fears, what scares you, that's how you end self-criticism. That's it. That's how you end self-criticism, is you put in the hard work. It's not a fortune cookie life, guys. It's not a fortune cookie life. You don't get to read a little affirmation, put a little, you think you share a inspiration Buddha post on Facebook and somehow your life is going to get better. It doesn't work that way. It is hard work. You got me? But once you understand that, it's the hard work that makes life amazing. It's the hard work that makes life livable, that makes life rewarding, that changes life, that changes your life, that changes other people's lives. Don't be scared of the hard work because you think you're no good at it. That's what you have to do. That's the fear you have to face. That's the challenge ahead of you. Life is short. You only got one chance at this. Don't screw it up. And the last thing I'll leave you with. If you don't do the hard work, who is hurting? because you don't do the hard work? How many lives would have been hurt because I didn't study to become a surgeon? How many lives continue to be hurt because I don't do enough Facebook Lives? Because not enough people know about my sleeve book. Not enough people know about my free PDFs and downloads. How many lives are getting hurt because not enough people know about my conferences in Velocity Vegas? Who is getting hurt because you are not doing the work? It could be your kids. Listen, you don't have to be a Dr. V with a big reach. It could be your kids. It could be your child. It could be your daughter who's in an abusive relationship because you didn't do the hard work you should have done. Kick out her asshole stepfather. That's real talk now. We're talking real talk now. Okay? Somebody's getting hurt because you are not willing to do the hard work. Now, at some point, I get it. You didn't have a great childhood. Your house was, grew up in a broken home. You saw your dad was an alcoholic. You saw your mom bringing in all sorts of men. I get it. Here's my last point. At some point, you have to say, shit stops with me. Shit stops with me. I'm the man. I'm the woman. I'm the one. I'm the one that's going to change my family's life. That's my last question to you. Are you willing to be the one? The one that changes the life for everybody you know, your friends, your loved ones. If you are, then you're a Dr. V tribe. Because I only want changers, leaders, people who are willing to change. I love you guys very much. Go have a great, amazing day. Share this broadcast. I hope to meet you in person sometime. I love you very much. And I believe in you. Don't ever forget that, okay? I believe in you before you believe in yourself. Hi, Dr. Vuong here. If you loved that video, I hope you will check out velocity2020.com. I want to meet you in person. This is my big annual conference in Vegas. It's amazing. It's not just about weight loss surgery, but it's about taking your life up to the next level. You're going to meet the best people, the best speakers, the best audience possible. You're going to really take your life up to the next level. 2020 is all about vision, clarity, and focus. We're going to show you how to find your vision, what you really want to do with your life, get crystal clear, clarity, and then find your laser focus to do what you need to do to have the amazing life that you deserve. Hope to see you there.